Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening, Speedrun Ragnarok. First off, I wanted to give a huge shout out to Maggie the Cat for their fantastic hosting previously. That was, I believe, their first time hosting, so GG's on that. Otherwise, hello, I'm Oscar424, your new host for the next 3 runs. We'll just get started right away. I know we're a little bit behind schedule, but I wanted to introduce to you our next runner, Tayman, and their fantastic run of Pokemon Puzzle League one-player stadium on Super Hard. So, Tayman, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is staying awake, staying hydrated, staying hype. It's really exciting to be here for all RPG Valkyries to conclude the Pokemon block. I'm going to be running Pokemon Puzzle League one-player stadium on super hard difficulty, and I am joined on commentary by fellow begrudging runners Lightning and Lunar Chimera.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, so we're not going to waste too much time. I know we're a little ahead of schedule, but I will say that for super hard difficulty, it's a difficulty that's kind of infamous among casual players. I know that I couldn't beat this when I was a kid, so I hope that you guys enjoy me hopefully tearing this category to shreds. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask, and we'll explain everything as best I can. So, you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. So counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So, if anybody, and I've seen people talk about it, this is one of the most brutal categories in any action puzzle game. If you do pay attention to the computer, which is on the right, there are occasions where that cursor is blazing across and moving blocks like no human ever could. Tayman, being the god that he is, will also be moving his cursor around like nobody's ever seen before. One of the main strategies that you will see Tayman using, and why he will reset lots of battles, is to go for a 4 combo into a chain that also includes another 4 combo. This is designed to basically attack one of the biggest weaknesses of the AI, which is that they want to clear the lowest level garbage block available. And if you are able to trap a 4 combo, you can get a very early kill on the AI.
Great.
Harry, why are you doing this? Okay,
These strategies also depend on the AI sometimes to either to chain and combo enough so that they run out of blocks and Tayman's garbage will land before they're able to make their step.
Squirtle won.
Right, we meant to ask about that.
Gosh, we're just so used to mashing through and selecting Pikachu. At several marathons, I have accidentally forgone the wishes of the people.
Squirtle is my favorite Pokemon to use for this for this game. Yeah, having heard Pikachu many times.
Gen 1 Pikachu is my favorite, so that's the one I ran anyway. So
it is a refreshing change of pace.
Yeah, you will notice that I'm going to be doing... There's going to be a lot of resetting in this run. That's because with the double 4 setup for the AI exploit, I don't know how much of it you've gotten to explain so far, Lightning, but the AI exploit we're using, it really works best at the beginning of the stage. If we get the sense that the stage is going to go on for a long time, or the AI is going to troll us, we'll just reset and try it again. Maybe try not to do as much resetting, or I'll let it play out a little bit more, because it is a marathon and we don't need to go for the best time, and we want to hear all these lovely Pokemon cries
right.
hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yep. Also, onto that, there are occasions where the AI still manages to get himself trapped, and sometimes going for a longer fight can also net a
That can
Might
slower.
actually. Oh,
Oh
nope, he
my
cleared.
gosh.
I was gonna say we might get to see it right here, but nope, he cleared it. Or you can do that.
Ooh,
That
there we go.
that works.
All right,
Ah.
so
And don't forget Squirtle.
yep.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. So used to mashing through, and we've been playing this game like before we went live with RPG Valkyries. We were actually racing this for hours. So I am a little bit on autopilot. And if you're asking yourself, well, why do you speedrun these crazy puzzle games? Like, isn't the RNG like really crazy? And if you're asking why, we're also asking ourselves why.
True.
Alright, so if Tayman tried to do that right there, and he will stop a chain early when the AI has started a long chain where they will end up with 3 columns on the left or right without too many blocks. But in that particular case, the AI was just topped off the top of the screen and ran out of something called stop time. Stop time is basically how much time the screen will freeze from scrolling upward, and this will happen while you're clearing blocks. And you can have stop time where you're not clearing blocks by just having lots of combos and chains. Chains increase stop time
Right.
much more than a combo would. So at least in the earlier stages of S hard, the AI will sometimes make relatively dumb moves and run out of stop time, as we saw on the Misty fight. But for especially towards the later stages of the game, they chain so incredibly well that they basically almost never run out of stop time. They're much more likely to run out of blocks. All right. Oh, do we have it?
There we go.
Yep. All right. So that right there was using the combo strat, the 2-4 combos, and you trap the left piece of garbage under a single line or sometimes 2 lines. But Tayman comboed and chained so well that Surge had absolutely no blocks to work with whatsoever, which we call a force kill because you are basically forced to lose at that point.
Yep. Nothing you can do.
I don't know if this is gonna be enough. No.
She cleared it anyway.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're still gonna get it?
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. It works out.
Yep. So, like, a very essential part is not only to do the 2-4 combos, but also to just pile on the garbage.
I'm trying to juggle so many things right now. Yeah, I appreciate you guys handling the commentary. It's yeah, the most difficult thing about this game, which like it still blows my mind that I'm able to do it, is the fact that we are to run this game really well. You not only have to be able to chain really well, but we also have to be able to watch the opponent's screen.
Right. So watching the AI screen is super important for timing because missing it by even, a fraction of a second could give the AI enough time to just raise their stack or have that one extra stack enough to have enough blocks to clear.
Alright, got the good scroll action going. And it is nice to just change your Pokemon so you don't go on autopilot. Like, it can, if you're stuck in a bit of a rut, just hearing something different every time, it can help.
It does. Surprisingly.
Ooh, is this going to be good on Koga? There we go.
It is.
So Koga ran out of stop time. Stop time is basically an invisible timer that counts down when your screen is topped off. And whenever you raise your stack, it resets to the default, and you can extend your stop time by chaining or comboing. And yeah, when it runs out, you die. Now, these AIs are like so good that they usually don't run out of stop time, but in the first half of the run, AI is not quite as good, and sometimes you can get these, like, we call it like cheesing it sometimes, where you can get these unintentional, like, it's not the traditional S-hard kill, it's the stop time kill.
Yeah, it's a win that basically happens a little bit more due to luck than
right.
Oh, wow.
the normal.
Unfortunately for Tay, it's we're getting past the point where that'll happen. So
Yeah, so starting around stage 9 is when it really doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, it's very rare.
It's also why well, there you go. Tracy is notoriously known as Trollsy. So, yeah, a little bit of spoilers for
Oh
the
no,
next
I did not.
opponent.
Unfortunately, I ended up dropping that chain.
Nope.
Yes.
I thought for a second as well.
The execution needs to be maintained at a high level. If you get poor starts or if the AI is non-cooperative, it can lead to big problems. Sometimes you can still get lucky if the AI still does.
Did I time that right? What are you doing? Yeah. So we have a fun FFE emote in our community called No Leveling. You'll see that Blaine just leveled out all the blocks, and remember that our strategy just involves having one of the 4 combo blocks fall down to the bottom. So if they level it out, it just kind of defeats the point. Oh no! Please drop that! Drop it! Oh!
Ah,
Oh
nice.
my gosh!
Very nice. I got close.
So yeah, Tayman noticed that Blaine was running a little bit low on blocks there, and just stopped everything. So once you stop chaining, your garbage blocks will drop as soon as the opponent stops clearing. But if you keep chaining, it doesn't drop. So when you see the AI run that low, you want to stop as much as possible to try to get those garbage down.
Oh no,
And here we are at the most infamous hard battle.
This is the gatekeeper to the end game here.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep it going a little longer for the fans. Tracy, not really popular in the anime, at least in my experience. Definitely not popular with the speedrunners. Tracy is at a weird in-between stage where he'll give you the quick kill, but not as often as like super late stage AIs. But this cursor speed's so fast that he won't give you like those cheese stop time kills. So
right, especially at the end, the very last few stages of S-hard sometimes can be quite a bit easier, as they are so aggressive and so good that they chain themselves out of blocks, which means as long as Tayman can hold the chain, that can be a super effective strategy. But with these intermediary stages, they struggle sometimes to chain all of their blocks away.
And right now, what's happening is Tay is trying to keep his chain going so that it drops at the right time when Tracy has cleared out enough blocks that it falls the way we want.
So, Tayman also pulled off something that was really cool right there. If anyone noticed, is a 16 chain. If you don't have the settings to display numbers, that actually comes out as a question mark. And it is what we deem as a mystery chain when it has gotten so long that it basically fills up the entire screen.
Right. Yep.
They did it for the people.
I love it. Anything above 15 is literally the
15 and above.
Yeah,
We were
15
just
and
talking about that
above
earlier.
will all be mystery chains.
Alright, Tracy, it's time for you to do something. Okay. He's not doing anything.
Not cooperating at all. Not doing enough to lose, but definitely not doing enough to win.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, hey, we'll take it, right?
Right.
Oh, I guess we talk a lot. We banter a lot in Puzzle League. If you ever need to hop in with some donations, just feel free to interrupt us whenever.
No worries. But I did want to remind everybody watching that, I love Squirtle, but if you want to see either Pikachu or Bulbasaur take over as best partner for Ash, you are more than welcome to make a donation for one of those two. Right now, Bulbasaur is only $9 behind Squirtle.
Rocket, please. Go ahead. Sorry.
You're fine. So yeah, if you want to see Bulbasaur take over, put your donation towards that, and in the next round, we might see a new friend.
Reminder that Bulbasaur is the most mature Pokemon out of Ash's 3. He is the best, I guess big brother to the rest of Ash's Pokemon.
He was first besides Pikachu.
I mean, just, give Bulbasaur some love every now and then.
Shoutouts to those multiple swag chains that I just did.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so
that's gonna be good.
Yep. Crush kill.
I don't know, Tayman, maybe you can talk more about that frame perfect block switch to get that chain that you did in the middle of that.
We'll talk about it a little bit later in the swag chain showcase.
All right.
Basically, you have a 3-frame window where you can create a platform in which to catch the block, so it'll register as a chain. If you do it too soon, it'll just fall off and it won't count as a clear. Like it'll just kind of like catch briefly and then just plop down to the bottom. But we'll show you how that works a bit later on. On the subject of swag, though, Puzzle Speed... Oh, not Pikachu. On the subject of swag, Lightning, you've been around the community a lot. Puzzle League players love to talk up their swag, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't even been here this long, and I can tell you that that's a true statement.
Yeah.
Well, there's also...
Yeah, Lunar, you've just been hanging out a couple weeks.
You can... There's just so much...
It's been almost 2 months now, I think.
There's so much movement with the cursor that, it can get pretty ridiculous.
Let's go.
No, very nice time drop. Very, very nice. I didn't even notice that.
Okay, now we go up against the anime Ash clone. Discount Ash, as we like to call him. Although he did...
He did beat Ash.
Yeah, he did beat Ash.
I was about to say, how does Richie beat Giovanni in the hierarchy there?
I mean, he is
non-canonly.
Might be good anyway. Oh, no.
No, he's gonna. Those purples are gonna. Gosh darn it, Richie.
Yeah, because of the shake time. Yep.
Yeah, when you send over these large garbage blocks, like as we are,
it gives the computer a lot of time to do a lot too.
Right. So the thing to note is you can't die while the screen is shaking, and so whenever you pull out a block and the screen shakes, the same as I got tier 2.
This might okay, but like he doesn't have anything below, so like the blocks are getting really weird here. Sometimes AI,
there we go.
when you have that many blocks on second tier, and second tier is just a layer of blocks above the garbage. Sometimes they don't know what to do. Okay, I have to pick Squirtle, even though that's not the type advantage here.
Right. So, the AI will still, sometimes can do second tier, where they look above for a clear and then manage to clear garbage and survive longer. But the chances are in your favor if that garbage is a multi-layered chain, as there's a check every, I guess, clearing cycle, where they might attempt again to try to clear the lowest garbage block.
That was a nice win.
Very clean. We're cruising here.
We are.
We're cruising.
That was actually so good that Lorelei had 2 clears, but then would have still been out of blocks to actually clear the main garbage.
That is a piece of art right there. When the AI is just so thoroughly defeated. It feels so good. There's no better feeling because it just means that you have won utterly and completely. Drop this, please. Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's a good Bruno.
Nice. So that is basically the, I guess, ideal kill. Whereas just the combos, like a moderately sized chain and a whole bunch of combos on top just to get some extra lines of garbage.
Now what do we do here? Okay.
I mean, you're also on quite a furious pace. What is it? Back in 2015, this kind of pace would have been absolutely absurd. And,
There we go.
world record. Now, TaymanND can just pull runs off like this.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. We have a little bit of time, so let's watch this cutscene here.
Yeah. So, you might have missed a timer there, buddy.
What's that?
Oh, well, what's this? So, unfortunately, you can't pick your Pokemon for this fight.
Yes, we are at the final stage, Mewtwo. You cannot reset here. If you reset, you go back to Gary 2.
You also can't lose.
Please
because...
drop that.
and
that's time. That's time.
And that is a
22
stick
minutes.
run.
Wow.
Mewtwo is free. Mewtwo is the most aggressive AI and the best one to get a very good kill on.
He will clear everything and anything on his screen, and you can just do that.
Yep. You just have to be good enough to send a ton of garbage.
Yeah, I got a little lucky there. I did not extend out that chain quite as much as I wanted to. I got a little too antsy, but luckily Mewtwo left the opening at about the right time. Yeah, as my commentators have mentioned, we like to joke around how Mewtwo is free, and for runners who are like good at like keeping their chain going, so long as you can keep your chain going, Mewtwo will almost always clear enough garbage or clear enough blocks to leave the opening for the S-hard kill, because his cursor speed is just so insanely fast. Like, it's ridiculous. I'm sure for those of you who played this game as a kid and got the Mewtwo, like, I don't think I even ever beat Mewtwo. Because there's almost no way to win. If without that strategy, it just becomes a long, drawn-out endurance match. And
It's kind of sad we didn't at least show it. Then 19 seconds.
Yeah, the most common way to kill Mewtwo without this strat is to just pile on so much garbage and a slog fest that Mewtwo chains entirely out of blocks, and then you have a full screen of garbage blocks and just force kill. But you know, with these new strats, well, I guess they're not even new anymore at this point. With the 4 combo strats, this fight becomes significantly easier.
Yeah, the new strats are the ones that I don't know if I pioneered them or brought them into prominence. I held the world record for about a year and a half and actually lost it just a couple weeks ago. But some of the new strategies involve going for the stop time kills I mentioned and doing the aggressive reset strats just to cut down on the really long stages.
Right.
The double 4 combo strat, that was found a few years ago. And basically essential for manipulating the AI.
We found it back in 2013, but we had no real consistent way to do it because it was a little bit random. So we weren't sure how well it worked or not. But I guess as players got better and everyone was starting to be able to pull off strats consistently, I mean, people got so much better to execute it, and we got to see it work more often than not.
Yeah, it's pretty insane how far down the world records come. I know for the longest time, I wasn't around at this time, but the longest time it was at about 21 minutes by BB Forky, and then it got down to, and then for a long time it was at 1701, 1704, and then I got it down to 1535 and then 1507 for a year and a half, and then FFR Pro 21 in a tournament match.
It was last week.
Yep. Just out of nowhere, he gets a 1431, and I'm just that was against me, and I lost that game to be sure, but won the match, and in a sign of the cruelty of Puzzle League, the new world record holder is now out of the tournament. You hate to see it, but we have. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, out of the tournament, but you came out of the tournament with the world record, so not all lost.
It's not the worst thing in the world. But we're about to move on to the swag chain showcase. Are there any donations or announcements that you want to get in before we do that?
Are no new donations. However, I will mention that the very next run is going to be Kid Dracula, and there is a bid war for that one. You can pretty much pick the Game Boy palette of your choosing. We have 4 options. The one that's currently in the lead is Trans Pride, but if you'd like to see Questionable Taste, Original Game Boy, or Halloweeny, you're more than welcome to putting your donation to one of those other 3, or if you want to put more love into Trans Pride, you can do that too. But that will be the very next run, so you only have a limited time before you can get that bid war donation in.
Yeah, go get those donations in, guys. And I know we're a little behind, so we'll try not to draw this out too much longer. But basically, we're just going to show off some cool chains that aren't necessarily intended, but they're allowed within the mechanics of the game engine. So this is the platform one that I talked about. Did it a little late there, but you have 3 frames to catch it like that. If you do it too soon, it just falls down.
You'll drop the block or the stack column that it came from.
Right, and if you do it too late, you just swap with the block.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So that's a cool one you can do. These are swag chains. They're kind of Hail Mary chains. They're not chains you want to do to extend your chain unless like, you can't see anything else. But some top runners, myself included, can do these somewhat consistently. This one right
you
here.
definitely can build a feel for it.
Okay, so that one right there. To briefly explain what's happening, I'm swapping in this purple. Either I think this is a 1 or 2 frame trick. You swap it in the frame it lands, and the reason that counts as a chain is because when this purple block is in motion, the game attaches a flag chain to it, and if the game sees a clear with a block that has a flag chain on it, it registers a chain. So we basically swap it in before the game has a chance to remove the flag chain, or the chain flag. So that one's probably one of the hardest to pull off.
And you're also doing it at a lower row than like common 2-row drops. So that, and because you have to catch it when it falls, 3 or more rows exactly, that timing feels is a lot more difficult. Ooh, I like this one.
Yeah, so this one, I'm gonna, right before these land, or right before these fall, I'm gonna put them into position. If I can get the timing right here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is
I made this hard by making it a 6 combo. It throws off the timing because you don't get 6 combos that often. So yeah, you swap them and then they get into position, but they don't clear until they fall, and then because they're in motion, the game registers it as a chain.
This is it's a very hard one because you have the frames between the clear and.
This one's definitely frame perfect. I'm going to swap in this red right here because the blocks fall 1 row per frame. So we have 1 frame to catch it with the cursor and swap it in. Rather difficult.
This is also a 1 row versus a 2 row. So you've made this harder than it needed to be too.
Dude, I have to maximize the swag. What can I say?
Yeah. That, like, a
Subtle
1 row
flex.
drop for that is so tough.
This one's pretty straightforward. We can like just drop these purples on themselves as they fall. That's something that you find just by messing around in marathon mode. And a lot of these I found as a kid just playing through the game.
Right.
I don't want to give spoilers because I don't know what's in your list of ones to show. But there are other ways you can do that same trick.
Yeah, lots of different variations on that one. This one's a variation of the frame perfect one. But except instead of swapping in the middle, we're gonna swap on the top. It looks really weird when it happens.
What's the
3
red
times
block
in a
doing
row.
there?
Let's go. Let's try to wrap this up because I know they're behind. Is this my final puzzle? Yeah, so this just incorporates a few different tricks. 2 different tricks here. So I'm going to do a frame perfect with the purples. And then do a catch on the dark blues there. So there we go. That is a swag showcase for Pokemon Puzzle League. Hopefully showed you guys some cool new tricks that you didn't know were possible. I've started doing this added this as an incentive at the marathons that I've run at, and it's been pretty popular, so I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And
they are absolutely not necessary tech to be good at this game. Just FYI, if you are interested in running this game, do not be a stranger.
Right, like Tayman said when he started these are all swag things. Typically, you actually don't even want to use them because they're not reliable unless you get really good at it.
No, definitely not. If you want to get good times, just go for safe, reliable chaining. And if you think you're only like moderately good or intermediate good, come hang out with us. Come speedrun anyway. You can run hard mode, which is actually a pretty beginner safe category. If you can do a decent amount of chaining and comboing, you can probably beat that mode in under 15 minutes. So it's really fun to get started with. Just want to do a couple shout outs before we sign off. We'll try not to draw this out too long, but right now the Puzzle General community is having a Pokemon Puzzle League speedrun tournament that is approaching the end. So we got some pretty exciting matches coming up. So I will drop the Puzzle General Discord or Puzzle General Twitch link in the chat.
Chat
Also,
says no.
what's that?
Chat says no.
Oh no.
It got censored.
Just
because
get
of the
newspapers.
Oh,
we
whoops.
can
Am I banned?
we can shoot it
Sorry.
to one of the
Well, we'll get that to you somehow. And what else? I'll drop the Discord link in there. Please go follow my channel if you want to watch me scream at this game for 80% of the stream. Go follow Lightning and Lunar Chimera. I believe that you can just add their names at the end of twitch.tv. Yeah, I'll whisper everything to Shala. But you guys have anything else you want to add before we sign off?
Watch Kid Dracula. It's a surprisingly
Yes,
great
definitely.
game.
And Gigi's, sorry.
Yeah,
Go on.
GG's. Good run.
It was great watching
Good
this mind-blowing run, Tayman. That was crazy. Thank you to our wonderful couch. And yeah, coming up next, we have Cleric with Kid Dracula any percent. Remember, you can still get that bid war going with the picking of the Game Boy palette. But until then, stay cozy, everyone.